Thanks again for joining us. From the very beginning, we have been a restaurant that's looked for what it might be like to be fine dining in the future. We've done this now for 5 years. We look at our successes and our failures of every previous day and what our peers around the country and around the world are doing to try to lead the industry into a more sustainable, more ethical way of running a restaurant. We do this in a number of ways with a number of strategies, and you're going to hear about a number of them as the night plays out. But a few of the key ones for us is things like our sourcing of ingredients. We are excessively locally sourced. We tap our own maple trees. Of course, we forage a great amount of your ingredients that you're going to have tonight and work with local farmers. But we do this in an excessive way that you won't find anywhere else in the region. And really, I think I would put our sourcing up against most restaurants around the country. It's very important to us. The other is our food waste efforts. We are a zero waste restaurant. You're going to hear more about that certainly in a little bit. An average restaurant of this size will put out maybe 40 gallons of food waste every single day. That's food that goes in the trash. Here, food never goes in the trash. At worst, we put food into compost, and our compost averages about 5 gallons a week. We've been able to do that for 5 consecutive years, so I think we've got that dialed in pretty well, and we're always looking for more improvements, even with those successes. But really the big one that we're focused in on nowadays is looking at the state of our community here in St. Louis and the larger area with the Ozarks and the Midwest, but the state of the planet beyond that, which may seem a little grandiose, but for us, first and foremost, we think that food does not need to be flown in from around the world. I mean, this gets back to the local sourcing, and I think that when chefs do that, they're being a little short-sighted in the impact on their local economy and also the food miles and the impact on the planet. If you have a team of skilled chefs, you should be able to take things as humble as the acorn and transform it into something special and unique. And so I challenge my peers to reassess whether they should be flying fish in from around the world, for example. The other thing, though, is how we talk about the past, and that's a much more challenging one. We look at how as a restaurant we came into being, how our cuisine and our cultures came into being by people in the past. And so 5 years in, we do proudly claim that we are a reparative restaurant, a restaurant that is focused on reparations. And I don't want you to get bogged down in the politics of that. Just know that for us, we are constantly, actively working on making amends for the wrongs of history. And we do that in a number of ways. If this is something that you're interested in, I've just recently written up a 5-year summary of that work, and we're happy to give you a copy of that article. Ask any staff, they can get that to you, or when you get your menu at the end of the night, you'll see a QR code that links you to that same document. So either way, but we do this in a number of ways. We work very closely with the Osage Nation and the Cherokee people by bringing in guest chefs and also working with the Office of Historic Preservation for the Osage Nation. We work with descendants of enslaved individuals from here in the region, and really we focused in on Farmington, Missouri. No other reason than that is an area that my family has connections in, being from St. Genevieve, and there's an established, organized group down there that we're able to work with in a meaningful way. And more recently, and the one that we're most excited about that you'll hear more about, is our work with Normandy High School and their culinary program. For those of you who are not from this area, Normandy High School is smack dab in the middle of the Red Line District of St. Louis. That redlining went on all the way into the 70s and maybe even early 80s. Of course, not legally, officially, but I think most would agree that it was still happening even then. And so we're able to work with the high school up there and use that as a means for diversifying the fine dining industry, and in particular bringing folks into our specific kitchen. I think that's enough for now. I want you to enjoy your meal. Don't get bogged down in all this. I just want you to have a great night, and please do feel free to ask questions of my staff or myself. We're happy to do it, and that's why we are here. Enjoy your night and have a great meal.